Lifelong smokers are knocking a decade off their lives. That's a finding of a survey of over 1 million women. Those who gave up before the age of 30 almost avoid the risks of dying young from a smoking-related disease. Well, joining me now is Robert Groves from Alan Carr Stop Smoking. And what do you make of this research? What do you think is the significance of it? 'Cause it's not exactly new, is it?
No, I mean, they're saying that if women smoke like men, they'll die like men, but it seems like stating the obvious a little bit to me. Yeah.
I mean, one interesting thing is that they're saying that if you give up before 40 or even 30 is better, you basically have the same risks as a non-smoker.
Yes, yes. I think this survey is just a part of a whole big pressure on smokers to quit. And in some ways it applies to women as much as men, that the more you think about the reasons why you shouldn't smoke, actually it makes it harder to quit, because it's much more difficult to sit back and think, well, what's so great about being a smoker? So by talking about life expectancy loss, it's actually putting pressure on, and the more that part of your brain builds up all the powerful reasons why you shouldn't smoke, there's another part of your brain thinking, well, I'm still doing it, I'm not stupid, and that's when you start thinking about the reasons why, you know, you can carry on.
And in some ways you could say it takes the pressure off, because it's sending a dangerous message to young people, isn't it? Teenagers, because they might think, well, I've got a few more years yet, I can carry on smoking.
Absolutely.
And that's not the point of this research, really.
Absolutely. I mean, at the Alan Carr's Easy Way clinics, we're seeing more women than men, actually, and I find that the younger, say, less than 40 years old women, you know, health is not the main concern anyway. They're far more concerned about something like weight loss, for example, with this huge myth that smoking helps you to control your weight, which is complete nonsense. I don't know if any of your viewers have ever seen on the packet written, will help control your weight as part of a calorie-controlled diet, but somehow women believe that smoking controls weight.
And that is a problem for women, is it? Because a lot of them do believe that it will help them to stay slim, especially younger women.
Absolutely, and I think that's a far bigger factor, for example, than worrying about what's going to happen in 50, 60 years' time. It's the immediate thing of weight control. In actual fact, smoking makes it harder to control your weight, but that message just doesn't seem to get out there.
And you say the majority of your clients are women, and why is that?
I don't know. The last thing I want to do is sound sexist, but I think when I look at the Alan Carr's Easy Way clinics, we have about 60% of female clients, and I always wonder if it's just that men sort of find it harder to ask for directions. I don't know if that's true or not. But certainly, the other thing that's quite apparent, I think, is that men seem to be quitting in far greater numbers than women. Women do seem to be finding it harder to quit.
Because the whole thing about this research is it sort of looks at women who started smoking sort of in the 50s, 60s. That's when we first saw smoking becoming widespread among women. So women have kind of been behind men in terms of the smoking curve. So perhaps that's why we're seeing men quitting now in greater numbers. And you do have these cosmetic reasons, women thinking they'll look better if they smoke. And there is a certain glamour associated around smoking, because you see products where the boxes look like lipstick containers, or you have these very slimline cigarettes. That's quite dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And I know the fashion press quite often depicts smoking even this day and age. My wife's a burlesque dancer, Trudy Light, and she's, you know, I'm a big fan of, for example, Dita Von Teese, who actually uses smoking as one of her main acts, where she glamorizes the act of smoking. I mean, I'm sure she doesn't mean to do that, but it still seems somehow as sophisticated and elegant with the cigarette holders and what have you. Yeah, it's a big pressure. I
mean, perhaps the message that women, that could be used for women is not just the, you know, it gives you, if you give up, you have a longer life, but perhaps it could also be, it's an anti-aging measure, because actually smoking ages you, doesn't it?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
The irony.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things everybody knows about smoking is it affects your circulation, and one of the first effects with the circulation is the very fine veins, arteries called capillaries near the surface of the skin. Now, even in a young woman, they will close up completely so that you get a slight grey tinge to the complexion, and also fine wrinkling as well, particularly around the mouth. Women will probably realise you see older women smokers with the fine lines around the mouth caused by the smoking action, and that starts at a very early age. You know, the good news is once you stop, that actually cures itself very quickly.
So there is a positive message. If you give up before 40 or even 30, you can basically be as healthy as a non-smoker.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And this whole idea of giving up, by the way, while I'm on, the use of the phrase giving up, it's like women are making a sacrifice. They're giving up a pleasure or crutch. And in actual fact, what I'd say to all your viewers out there that are smokers is just think about it. What is so great about being a smoker anyway? Forget about the health risks and the cosmetic damage. The question to really ask, and this would be a tip for me to anybody that's thinking about quitting, don't think about the reasons why you shouldn't smoke. Think about the reasons why you do smoke. What's it really doing for you? Be honest. You know, it does nothing.
Not least your purse. Robert Groves, thank you very much.
Thank you.